Hello everybody, it's Barbara, and welcome to my review of Cabaret. No, obviously not the Liza Minnelli movie, the Integrity Toys convention dolls. I happened to get two of them very recently, so I waited until I had all of them, or at least the ones I was going to get, to do this review. We have Agnes, the snake charmer. We have Raina, the fortune teller. And we have the not licensed Ariana Grande doll that's also a Poppy Parker, who is the aerial artist. So I thought what we would do is we'll talk about the dolls first. And then Raina, who was a W Club doll, and Poppy, who was not, they came with some props. So we're going to talk about them too. By the way, there was also an East 59th Street doll, Della, that was a singer, a chanteuse. She came with a gold microphone, which I've decided to show off a little bit here. It's your typical, we've seen microphones like this from IT. It is the old 1940s, 1950s style broadcast microphone. The mic itself pivots, but the mic stand does not move. So here we have Raina. I put her headband on so you could see what it looks like. It's supposed to hold the hair back because, you know, when you're making great predictions, you need to have your hair back. She is at the very least a tanned skin tone. She has a sort of purple look all around. I would even say, and full disclosure, the only reason why I'm even mentioning this part is because I'm watching Spider Noir on Amazon Prime. Not a plug, kind of a plug, but I digress. Her makeup seems to be those shades of purple and gray that if you were watching this in black and white, you would know what the colors were anyway. So she does have very long lashes that go over her nose. A deep red blush. As I said, her entire palette is purple with purple lips. Love this so much. Purple power, you know me. And then her earrings are very interesting. They're dangles, so I don't think they're really meant to be worn with this cape, which I will take off in a second. But if you notice, for a while now, Integrity Toys has liked using a lion as a motif. So that is in her earrings. That is the only time you're going to see the lion, though. Usually, the motif is, for this figure at least, is the watchful eye, or the eye that is omnipresent in all of the Illuminati drawings. So this is very nice. It is pleated and lined with some stars. I believe they are printed on. They are not sewn on. And I do want to be careful about talking about Raina's accessories because I do know we're talking about some religious sensibilities here. So I'm going to start off by going with the easiest stuff to talk about first. Her very cute boho bag, which, by the way, would go really well with Eden's outfit. Hold that thought about Eden. Really nice. She also comes with stockings that I did not put on, which I think are supposed to make the boots go on easier. And yes, we do have a choker necklace that would, again, go very nicely with Eden's outfit, as well as the purple and navy blue. This is the piece that I was talking about and being careful about the religious sensitivities, because again, this is the iconography of Illuminati, and I know that's a trigger for some people. This is supposed to be the belt that goes around the waist. I think we've all had conversations that doing these belts are very tricky. I did not attempt it. I also want to say a quick word And I'm just gonna pause here to get my tweezers because I'm gonna pick up her rings, which were a little tricky. So she comes with 2 of these rings, which I'm putting on tweezers so you can see them. Why am I not in frame yet? Here they are, here they are. So they're very, very tiny. Oops, and you see what I mean? Now imagine that being on fingers and you're moving the dolls around. That is going to be a very big problem. So they're very nice rings. They're perfect as wedding rings, but you definitely are going to have to be very careful with them. She came with a ton of bracelets, which trigger my, and I believe it was also Coco Chanel saying, look in the mirror and take one thing off before you walk out the door. We have our standard, which has been around for about 20 years now, this kind of bracelet. And of course, this bracelet, this style of bracelet, I should say, has also been around for about 30 years with IT. And by the way, in saying, oh, this has been around, I'm not saying that this is bad. I'm just saying it's been around. Now, we get to the fun part. Revealing the rest of the jewelry. So let's bend her arm up. She has this very lovely star ring, which is picks up, I should say, the stars on her cape. And there are the rest of the bracelets, including one detailed jewel in purple. The other arm is the one where I put the big statement ring I put on this hand, along with a couple of other bracelets. Come to me, and I will tell you your fortune. This reminds me also a lot of a class ring. It's definitely a cocktail ring, huge. And as you can see, now of course, and I'm being very careful because a lot of this, there's just ruffles galore here. It's a short pleated dress. The pleating is excellently executed. And then you've got the ruffles that kind of also, I don't know, this is sort of very dramatic, almost like a train. And then you have the boots. If I can point this down, take it slow. You have the boots, which are made for walking. And nice heel, interesting heel. A little gold detailing there. The zippers are on the outside. And again, there's a lot of playability here because this could also be rockabilly or, you know, very Coachella. The boots are cool, and of course you could wear those boots with anything. So this is a very modern, and ditto the headband. So there is cross playability here. I want to make sure she's back on her stand firmly because we're going to set her back now. Yeah, see, they were so nicely on the stand, and then I had to move it to talk about her boots. Here we go. There we go. Never move a doll off the stand once you have it perfectly set. Okay, let me just take a minute here. Fix that. By the way, this might also be a good time just to very quickly mention the stand. There are 2 holes if you want to set them backwards and forwards. I always prefer the center, just because in case I wanted to do a double stand or put a smaller doll next to it. Since we're here at the floor, let's stay on the floor and let's take a look next at Poppy Parker Le Arial. Her shoes are supposed to mimic point shoes, but they've also got that new kind of heel that looks like it's a runner's sprint, like you're trying to sprint, but not really. I'm not sure what that's about. but they do also tie like a ballerina's slippers. Now, everyone has already said, and I concur, that this is very much a homage, not to aerial artists of the past that we might know and love, but this is very definitely a homage to Ariana Grande in her role as Glenda in the Wicked movies, which is fine. I don't object to that. Here is Miss Grande. If honestly, I have to say, IT is very lucky that Ariana Grande is not suing Happy, because if she was, this would be a problem. This is very much the high ponytail, her face, her style of her look. Interesting, they didn't go all pink. Her eyes, we're back to the lavenders. Brown eyes, long lashes, hot pink, almost mauve lip, but the lavender eyeshadow. Again, the stars repeat in her tutu with some nice silver balls in her flower. The stars are also going to repeat, by the way, in her earrings. And I'm going to hold them up, and I'm going to be very honest. I over pierced. I think that's the best way to put it. I over pierced her ears. So the earrings were falling out. So that's why I did not leave them in. And whereas there is some product in Raina's hair, it's mostly loose. There is a bit of product, obviously, in Poppy's hair, especially in the front. Now, maybe I was okay. Now it's, you know what? It's also better now that they're not freshly pierced. So this is the whole look. Which I like. It's very dreamy. We're gonna talk about La Ariel's prop in a second, as we will talk about, which you can see just over next to Agnes, the prop that Raina came with. A little bit of product, but not a whole lot in Raina's hair, which I appreciate. Last and never least, as we know, it is the queen herself, Agnes, making a return appearance. I love my Agneses with red hair. So this was a real important get for me, because I had previously sold my previous Agnes with red hair in a very similar style. And it's one of those deals that I very much regretted. This is, she's a snake charmer. This piece is attached to the dress. Obviously, her ring is not attached to the dress, but we'll get to that in a second. It is definitely a statement drape. The snake motif, this is for, she does come with a headband, which I did not put on, because I like her hair that way, so I used the piece that should go in the headband as a chest piece, a chest accent. You can almost see it here, and I'm going to move her arm a little bit more so you can really see it. This bodice is not completely connected to the skirt. It is not two pieces, though. This is laced up in the back. It is not two pieces. This is a one-piece dress. And it's got a little, and I think this is meant to mimic the scales of a snake, which I think is very interesting. She comes, and she comes with two pairs of shoes, which are also very interesting. I like, see if I can grab these and how I'm going to grab them. I think I'm just going to use my hand. I like these shoes. I could not get them to stay on, so which is why they didn't. But they've got, again, that beautiful detailing at the back, at the heel of the snake. Very nice. Gorgeous playability, because this is almost like a gold tan. So yes, obviously this goes with the green dress, but you could wear this with anything. Dare I even, if there was more of a tan motif, I could say you almost could get it away, use it and get away with it with the Integrity Toys Ensemble competition doll. This is her purse, which looks like a harp, not like a snake. Obviously opens up, as all good Integrity purses do. She comes with gloved hands. We'll talk more about the other hands in a second. Because of the drape on that hand, I put the bracelet she comes with, which does, again, whoops, it is a snake, and it comes all the way down. Very nice. We have, as you will see in a moment, a very simple circular ring with the red stone. And the much more pronounced cocktail ring. This one can definitely go with the Integrity Toys competition doll. And yes, of course, you have the snake earring. Her hair is twisted up almost, you know, in this very proper bun. Push her back a little bit so you can see it. Into this bun that almost looks like, again, like how a snake would coil. So that's very interesting. And obviously there's a whole lot of product here. So we're going to put her back. Before I forget, let's come down and just very quickly talk about the very plain green shoes. Those stay on, so that's the thing you have to remember. So yes, very quickly, I'm going to talk about Raina's hands in a minute, but I just want to very quickly say that Poppy Parker does come with an extra set of dialing hands, perhaps also better for gripping the prop, which I'm going to show you in a second, but I'm not going to switch out the hands. But yeah, so we're going to pause here again, and I'm going to set up the dolls in their props. I cannot quite get Raina to stand in her box correctly, but the idea is with this prop, you should just leave her on the stand and then put the fortune-telling stand over this. I'm going to tread very carefully because I know that, again, there are some religious sensibilities about this. It is entirely cardboard. The texture feels very, very nice. This is the fortune-telling globe. It's 2 pieces. Lots of playability here because you could actually use this for a couple of different things. You could almost use it as like a chalice if you just hold it this way. This is obviously where the battery would go. I didn't put the battery in. Bad me. And as you can see, even though it's cardboard, it all holds. Also, presumably, this would be where you would use the tarot cards. I may be holding them upside down. I was. My apologies. I'm not sure if I'm going to punch these out or frame it like it's art, but these are the tarot cards. I'm going to turn this around slowly. It's very noir. Your future looks fabulous. As you can see, the pieces will tab into the back. The other side says palmistry and fortune telling. So it's all very nice. It's very old carnival style. And speaking of, I want to show you this too. I'm going to move this over here. She's going to come over here. This is the actual box that the majority of the dolls came in. La Ariel came in this one, and which I will show you in a second, but the majority of the dolls came in a box like this. The inside of the box is this beautiful carnival red and white stripe, but this is the piece de resistance. It's the side piece here, which, and I will bring the camera down, leads you to a spotlight. So obviously this has got playability off the charts. So I'm going to pause here and set this up again to do La Ariel. So here is Poppy in her aerial stunt. Full disclosure, she's basically on the floor, and the hoop is basically, is helping her balance as if she were on her own. I did not pose. It's very hard for me to pose her doing something aerially. She will fall backwards. But it's cute, and if you can see here, it's being held up with the kind of chains that I think all of us wish the necklaces would close with. Hello, Integrity. Basically, to assemble this, it is a few pieces. You have the poles on either side, you have the hoop, you have the base, which says Cabaret. The poles on the other side of the Cabaret base will screw in with an enclosed Allen wrench and screws that Integrity gives us. And on top, again, you're gonna put the top on, and then you're gonna put in what I guess like the flagpole holders on and screw those on. And once you've done that, then you can attach the hoop by chains. And that is Ariana Poppy on her stand. Hold on a second. I think we have a visitor. Hang on. Let's see what the visitor wants. Well, this is a surprise. Hi, Hugh. How are you? Well, I'm good, thanks. I just came by to I'm afraid I have to warn you about something. What's the matter, Hugh? Is there like an upcoming Broadway tragedy we have to be aware of? Oh, it's definitely a performance tragedy. Usually when I'm in your reviews, who else is going to be around? Oh no. Yeah. Oh yes. I came in like a wrecking ball. Don't you just love me, everybody? Haven't you missed me? To be quite frank, Deadpool, no, I haven't, and I don't think the New York City court system has missed you. Oh, did you have to go there, sweetheart? Yeah, I kind of did. Deadpool, what are you doing here? Well, you're the one who's like obsessed with playability, so I wanted to show everybody how playable this is. You know what? I gotta give you props for that. Deadpool is an action figure, a very talented action figure, I quickly add, and he's actually completely off the ground, and this is still, and I'm slowly, yeah, because you never know with Deadpool, you got to do things slowly. He is completely off the ground, and it is still holding him up. And I'm going to do one more. I'm actually going to use Hugh. Of course you are. You've been dying to do that for years. Shut up! So here's the Hugh Jackman, who is the heaviest action figure I've ever had. And this is still, not that I'm going to leave him in this contraption forever and ever. Amen. But again, he is the heaviest, and it's holding him. So this can clearly, so if you have different action figures, different, I don't know if I should be thinking Peaky Blinders or other, you know, noir era cabaret, circus, carnival action figures, you can use them and it's going to hold the figure. So that is not a problem. So this is really, truly, Elaine Tremblay knocked it out of the ballpark when he did this. And I'm going to take him off because, again, we don't want to really push things. But I do want to say, in conclusion, as I knock this down, and I'm going to bring back, I'll bring back Ariana. Why not? You know what? No, I'm going to bring back the Queen. I'm going to bring back Agnes as we talk. Obviously, this is the right time. If you want to start to get these convention dolls, this is the time. Why? Because they've been out for a while now, and you will be able to get them at a price that is not crazy butt rate pricing. You will be able to get it at a really decent price. And the face sculpts, for the most part, are very traditional to the figures and the dolls. So you can get them and you would still have a very good Agnes, a very good Reina, a very good Della. And it would be really, and they're very cool to have. Also, the texturing, even the texturing on the cardboard, and this is something I've never even noticed before, but this is just the cardboard that the earrings come on. The texture on even these little pieces of cardboard picks up the texture of the boxes, and they are really nice. I mean, I have no idea what you would do with a red card, but if you were ever doing like a soccer coming up to the World Cup, if you were doing one of those dioramas, that would be perfect. So for me, Barbara, and for Agnes, and let me bring in the other ladies in chairs. Hopefully you'll see them. Agnes. We're going to push Agnes back a little bit. There we go, so we can still see her. Agnes. And Reina. And Poppy. I'm Barbara, and I hope to see you again in another review really soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get back ever to a regular schedule of reviewing, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will see everybody next time. Take care. Bye-bye.